Hello. For those of you who don't know me, I'll introduce myself. My name is Gubanov Vyacheslav Vilorievich, the president of the International Institute of the Social Ecology. Today we are presenting the Lifexpert course, which for quite a long time was a plan. Now, for the whole world, this would be an internet version of the course, which would be launched by us on the 7th of September 2009. The same course is available full-time in St. Petersburg, in the city where we are based. This course will be open in the end of September. The time period of course creation is very interesting. For the last 19 years, we conduct similar education courses in St. Petersburg and in other cities. We do it in the way of conferences or seminars on different topics. We also do it in other countries. Up until now, all of it was done live. Now we finally have an opportunity to do it for the whole world due to the advances in technology. We are doing it for all who are interested. We do it in a single system. Now we finally can organize a live interaction with the people around the world. We are talking about the essential, vital knowledge for the people who would like to pass the quantum jump that is promised in 2012. Now we observe a very interesting situation. In our time, when we began to study, there were not many sources of information. We had to experience many things ourselves. During the Soviet time, I was the head of the computer department. I used the alcohol that we received for cleaning the junctions, not for drinking, since I don't drink, but for cleaning the junctions. During that time, we would buy copies of books that were translated to Russian in Riga, Latvia, and we didn't have copy machines at that time. So these bits and pieces were the essential information. It was the core of the information that we have now. We didn't have any excess information. We had only what was needed. Only the things that were really needed. It was easier for us. We didn't have so-called informational noise. 19 years passed after that, and the informational noise have increased. Everyone is screaming, me, and me. In principle, it is good, because the variety is important. However, the real life shows that all of these different varieties exist on a very narrow and low level if compared to the tasks that have to be solved now. In here, there is a mass of particular trends and a mass of initial conditions. In principle, it is good, because the initial school is important, the kindergarten is needed. To feel that you can do something is possible in many different ways. This so-called pre-bottom level is mainly where the noise is. The higher you go, more silent it gets, and more relief it gets. We are talking about the fact that people can receive their initial education from any place, but there is so-called allowed direction of growth. There are certain levels of spiritual growth. That is why, depending on the personal potencies of a person, he or she can stay on the previous level and be a very good expert. He or she becomes a kindergarten teacher. That is great. Very often, the people who come to us are sent to the initial school because they are absolutely wild and big. First, they need to be settled in somehow. It's not our watch. When a person can already feel something, when we don't have to persuade that he or she can do something, then we talk about the ways to do it effectively and with a certain quality in the surrounding world. How to establish a leading and competitive position in the surrounding world. How to be healthy. One of our seminars is called I am healthy. What do I do next? You're healthy. Great. The simple tasks are solved. But what to do next? What's next? Health is not a goal in itself. Health is an option that is given to a person if he or she is living correctly. It is a self-forming feature. There is no need to work on it separately. You should help yourself a little bit. The doctors don't know what state of health is for sure. They use a different concept. It's a concept of consumer society. The consumer society is going through the crisis now. Now we have the society of creators. It is the time for people who can harmoniously fit in the nature. We would like to welcome you to this environment if you want. We are coaches, we know, and we can do a lot of things. 19 years of practical work is quite serious. Everything that we teach in our classes is the real life, and we are the school of creative loafers. We are lazy to do anything excess. We take only 20% of what is really working and we leave 80% on the level of just informing. We can say right now how our course is different from everything that exists in the market right now. Many people tell what should be done. Just the information about what needs to be done in regards to this or that is given. There is one interesting story in this regards. There is a wise owl sitting on the bench, and a loud crowd of little mice run up to him and wake him up. Uncle Owl, the fox is hunting us. What should we do for the fox to stop hunting us? Please think of something, Uncle Owl. The wise owl opened one of his eyes and said, Little mice, you should become little hedgehogs. Then fox will stop hunting you. The little mice got very happy when they received such a wise advice from the Uncle Owl. Everything is great, the great guru helped us, all is great. They went on running and screaming that all is great. Become little hedgehogs and the fox will stop eating us. Then at one point, the smartest little mouse said, Wait a minute, I don't get it. The advice is good, but now the question is how to do it. What to do is understood, which is become little hedgehogs, but how to do it? So the mice went back to the Uncle Owl again. Uncle Owl, you gave us a very good advice, and we respect it, but now we need to know how to do it. Oh, again noise. Hey little things, please stop bothering me with your questions. You're asking the tactical question, and I only think strategically and globally. A big number of schools and very respected teachers on the question on how to do it for each person can't really give an answer. The reason why they can't give an answer is very simple. They are very good narrow experts and they know their subject very well. But for a person who is in the process of evolution, it is important to know how this layer interacts with lower layers of information and what would be next. There are certain safety measures on this level, then the next, and then the next. There are more opportunities, but the safety measures have to be more precise and tough. The more you are given, the more is asked from you. The more you can, the better way of mastering of your abilities is required from you. When you become a 500-powered model in the surrounding world, then it turns out that the elephant is not welcome in the china shop. The elephant on the line in the circus is what happens as a result. Yes, you become bigger and you get an ocean of opportunities. However, how to use these opportunities and how to mix them in a certain percentage ratio so no one would be able to touch you is a very serious knowledge. We teach how to save your connection with the society. This is obligatory. We don't want people to become hermits or outcasts that begin to fly, or the ones that dig deep and create the global defense line against the world. We allow people to dynamically connect with the society and to obtain leading positions in it. During the study process, there will be not only theory part, but there will be a lot of practical activities as well. They are very simple because they are made using the natural language, and very effective because of the same reason. Based on it, you can form your own experience in mastering certain levels and directions of common human informatorium and knowledge. This has to be known by any person in the 21st century, so he or she can be healthy, successful, attractive, charismatic, effective, and have an ability to substantially rest in a quality way. This is a separate topic, but this is also the practice of life. The world turns to you the way you turn yourself to the world. We are strong in our system approach. This approach is technical, technological, and methodological. This makes us clearly different from a big number of people. We do not rely on private views. Take cleverance, for example. I know 8 ways of cleverance, if we talk about using it in real life. When it comes to solving a certain task, we rely on measures of the thin matters. This is described in our literature. We offer these materials to people who have interest. We share this knowledge and know-how. I had few discoveries in this field. They allowed us to create this type of structure which doesn't contradict any religion whatsoever. Any religion has common explanation of things in the energy-informational literacy. We work with the brain informatics and informatics of a human body. We all are technical experts. We have experts in biomedical equipment, non-contact Navy weapons, different kinds of camouflage and ways of influence. Everything that is most keen, tasty, prominent, and methodological in technology is in the foundation of what we do. We are great with equipment. That is why we can talk about ways of measuring everything that we do. Our techniques can be used independently. They're open for everyone. They realize a very powerful ideological principle. Special attention is given to that. These techniques cannot be used in the aggressive way. Just single parts of them cannot be transferred. They cannot be transferred from defensive and harmonious techniques to the disharmonizing ones. This is our know-how. This is a result of a serious work. I give big attention to it because of my military defense past. The defense techniques are made using Aikido concept. They don't bring anything excess to the nature. They are very efficient. That is why they defend effectively by returning the aggression to the origin. Each aggression is dealt with differently. Any display of knowledge is considered to be heresy by the people who don't have this knowledge. You might remember about Giordano Bruno and Copernicus. What is considered to be a widely known fact now was born as a heresy. There is one phrase: any new knowledge is born like a heresy, lives like a guerrilla fighter, and ends its days like a widely known fact. We are talking about the fact that we are currently at the front line where the use in real life is a criteria of the truth. You all have a chance to practice. Anything of nature is easy and simple. You probably heard the phrase that everything of genius is simple. We took this concept and tried to look at how nature really works. There is nothing complicated in the nature. Everything is rational, precise, and effective. If something is wrong, then it comes from a human. If you take away human activities, everything will change back to nature. That's it. So there is nothing secret about it. There is nothing horrible about it. The new thing turns out to be quite simple, though it could be hard to believe it. The pricing for our work is set very precisely using specific parameters. Effectiveness is first of all. Just like after any market research, we know the effectiveness of different systems, the prices for certain services, and we know the effectiveness in regards to those systems. Then we actually start to dump the price, to tell you the truth. However, there are people that I would not recommend to attend these classes. First of all, it is the people who have wild egoism. Creative egoism we cherish. It is the creative part. But people who try to get the blanket on their side are not welcome. Secondly, it is the people who are not ready to change. Those people who demand personal training, and at this level, they have to be willing to go to the lower level. In this situation, please do not be surprised that you will meet a lot of things that you think you know. For these types of elephants, it is also a way to find out that they are not alone. It is hard to sit alone on the peak of the mountain and scream, "I'll give you back your sausage if you take me down from here." Yes, we have to use crane for those types of people. We put them on the ground, we ground them and tell them, "Guys, so you went all the way up there. Did it feel any better?" It is not right. It's just an escape from a normal life. A person can be used in a place where he or she is born and by the qualities he or she has. How about learning how to work with the body before you fly away? Did you find out what it really is? Did you learn how to be useful in the society and not only fly, smoke weed, and constantly meditate? Guys, come on. It's not the true meaning of life. To know the true meaning of life, you have to climb all the way up, and there you can connect on that level and then grow your abilities here to the surrounding world. That is why sometimes we use the hockey stick to get those high on weed people to the ground. Then we get thanks from them because they begin to feel the real taste of life and what it is. They stop to escape. They receive a chance to fully realize the tasks that they might not even know about. So how does the quality of life changes after our course? This following story will be a perfect example. There is a competition between lumberjacks. They have to compete on who is the most effective and who is the master with an axe. So the qualifying ended and they picked out two strongest lumberjacks. So each one of them gets the forest territory to compete, and you can't really see the whole forest because of the trees. So they get to the line and start to chop trees. One of them uses a lot of his power, tries to chop as many trees as possible. He's working as hard as he can to get the final prize. So at one point, he gets tired and he hears that his rival is not chopping at this time either. Then again, he started to chop some more. And when he stopped, he didn't hear her rival X again. Is it possible that they are so similar in their chopping race? Then our first lumberjack is chopping again, and he hears that the second one is somewhat ahead, and he stopped. So when the competition was over, it turned out that the one who was resting more was able to cut twice the territory than the other one. The effectiveness was very high. So the first one, who considered himself much stronger, had more muscles compared to the second one, who chopped more trees, came to the second one and asked, "How did you do it? You rested more than me and you were able to do more than me." "Come on! I was not only resting, I was sharpening my axe." People usually forget about sharpening the axe. Choosing the correct tools, choosing the right aim, and having a good rest. This balance of work and leisure is controlled externally. It is directed by external forces. It is the time when you do not bother anyone, when there is no need to do so. It is when you do only things that are needed, when you follow the rule of 4 T's. Do the things at the time, that way, with those with whom it is easy, joyful, and fast. When you use the concept of third manifestation, do not push away whatever is flowing to you, and do not hold on to whatever is flowing away from you for more than 3 times. Then you can ride the top of the way of success. Life can actually be good if you didn't see the other level. There's a concept of life, there's a concept of happiness, and there's a concept of success on the certain level. This is life. So from our side, we invite you to the Life 2.0, your second life.